Warning, this is a family-friendly radio. Children of all ages are welcome to participate.
This is my grandpa's geocaching talk show.
HikerJamz Aftercache is sponsored by Cacheface.social. Like to meet new friends? Share your photos? Tell stories about your caching adventures? Go to Cacheface.social. You might be surprised that some of your friends are already there waiting for you. So try it out today. It's free and it always will be. That's www.cacheface.social. See you there.
And now for our latest news.
Okay, today we're here. I'm talking with Crazycritter1966, which is my other half. And we've been doing out some geocaching here lately, and quite a bit on the weekends. And we've come up with a little problem we're having with travel bugs. So thought maybe we'd just let her give her open opinion on what she thinks about what we think that what she thinks we can do or should be done about the travel bugs disappearing after you put them in a cache, and you go out and buy a dozen of them and they disappear within a couple of weeks. And so we're going to bring Crazycritter1966 in here and let her give her little complaints, because I think people need to understand this, what travel bugs are about and what they should and shouldn't do with them.
So you're going to let me rant?
I'm going to let you rant.
Okay, let me rant.
Okay, go for it.
The travel bugs I don't mind, but when you have a travel bug and you put it in a cache and somebody grabs it, they hold on to it a month, 2 months, whatever. Now, if you're going to grab them, you should really place them back in a cache as quick as you can. And if you have them within that month and somebody sends you a note asking you nicely, please let me know when you might have a chance to put the travel bugs in another cache, and they ignore you, well, that's a little frustrating.
How many travel bugs do you have out there right now that you don't know where they are, or that haven't been moving?
I've got 7 of them out there. 3 of them are moving, and 4 of them have been in the hands of people for a month.
And well, okay, so you can't get a hold of them, some of them, to find out where they're at, and people haven't even actually been back on geocaching.com for a while. Right.
I've sent them emails asking them, when you might be able to put it back, and I haven't gotten back even just, I'll be able to put it back in a week or 2 weeks, just out of courtesy, at least send an email back to let me know something.
Right. Yeah. And what, you're paying good money for these travel bugs. What are they, like $5 a piece?
Something like that.
Yeah. And sometimes you can get a deal where you can buy, a dozen for, a little bit cheaper than that. But when you put something on a travel bug, and then there's some more costs you got out there. I mean, you got to buy some kind of a toy or some kind of whatever it is that you attach to the travel bug, and then you're out that money too. Which one of all the different items that you've put on a travel bug, which ones disappear the quickest? Is it the cheapies or the ones that are more for more expensive ones?
I haven't actually had any of them disappear. They're still in the caches or in somebody's hands, so they're still out there. I just can't seem to get them to move.
Right. Now, I had one time that the people went out geocaching. Okay, they found a travel bug I guess the person never did send it back out nowhere, and I finally got a hold of him through email. He checked it out, and he finally, about a week or two later, he come back with another message and said that he was over at his cousin's house or something, and his nephew or whatever was playing with it. It was just a little doll or something that I had attached to it, and he snatched it back up from me. He says, "This is not a toy. I got to take this back," because he tried to explain to the kid, what it was. So there's different reasons why they get held up, but yeah, that's the way it's working out right now. Anyway, I've had travel bugs that I've sent out that I've found and replaced them that they've gotten 8-10 years worth of time on them and 50,000 miles. Well, I send one out there, and in a week's time, it's got 40 miles on it, and I don't know where it's at.
I haven't had that happen yet.
What else is kind of aggravating about geocaching? I know you don't. I know you go with me, geocaching because you like to take photographs. What do you call it? Photography. Photography. You like to go out and take pictures, and while I'm doing some caching. But what is the most thing that aggravates you about it when you're out there and we're looking for geocaches?
I can't say I've been too aggravated lately. I've actually decided I kind of like geocaching a little bit now.
Okay. So what about the ones we spend 45 minutes looking for?
Well, okay, those those do get a little bit aggravating after a while.
Yeah.
Out in the woods and your GPS isn't working because of all the trees and you can't figure out where something is.
That's where fall comes in real good because all the leaves coming off the trees and you get a lot better signal that way.
That's true.
And then I know there's been a few of them that we've went back for quite a few times.
2-3 times.
Yeah. And what do you say when you finally find it?
Found it.
Duh.
We should have looked there the first time.
That's what we should have did. Yeah. That Surfing USA.
Oh, that was so fun. Okay, now this is good. I'm a pretty big girl, and I'm afraid of heights. Well, this cache was, like 11 foot up in the air in a tree. I decided to get brave, and I was going to get up there and get it. Well, I got up there, and I got the cache out. I got halfway down, and hikerjamz looks at me, and he says, I can't believe you just climbed up there. Well, I'm looking around and going, I can't believe I just climbed up there either.
You was on the other side of the tree.
Yeah, I seen it from the other side, and it was easier to get it than to explain how high it was for you to get it.
Right, and the tree was wet,
Oh, that was. Yeah, I kept thinking I'm losing my mind. Let's just hope I don't lose my balance now.
But here now, this is what I noticed about that cache too. When you opened up, it was a lock and lock,
right?
That was tied to the tree limb. When you opened that up, I heard you say. Something fell out.
Right.
And that was a travel bug. And it was just a real small one. I don't know. It caught my eye after you said that. I looked down to see what it was, and it just looked like a little piece of plastic there. But what it was a travel bug. It wasn't original, dog tag type. It was, what'd they call that? I got that here somewhere. It was GPS, travel GPS. The thing only measures about 1/2 inch by 1 inch.
And that's the first time I've ever seen one of those.
Yeah, look at that. And so when I'd seen that piece of plastic, I looked at it and I went to pick it up and I said, "Wow, that's a travel bug."
And if I hadn't have seen it fall, it could have easily ended up in the dirt under stuff, and it never would have been found.
Right. So, and people step on it, leaves fall on it,
right.
Tree limb falls, anything can happen, and that it's gone. Because there's nobody gonna. If there's a lot of times you'll see where there's supposed to be a TV in a cache, and you get there and it's not.
That's what I wonder, is if maybe it's fell out of the cache and got under leaves or something because somebody didn't notice it, and it may never be found, or it may be found a year later on the ground somewhere.
Right. All right. So now let's bring up a little bit about different places where we go geocaching. We've hit the countries,
Right.
country roads, out in the woods,
Cemeteries.
And
Cities.
there you go. I know you like to go out in the country a lot because you get better view for your photography.
Right.
What is the hardest thing about doing in town?
Trying to get a cache without people seeing you.
Muggles.
Very, very difficult.
And there's been times when we just walk up there and snatch it up and don't even, I mean, we know people are around, but a lot of people go up there and they'll look this way and they'll look that way before they even try to get it. And you look suspicious. And I've seen people, I'd be kind of standing there looking, and as soon as I see somebody just turn their head a little bit, I grab it. And then the same way when you put it back. But are they watching?
Good question. They probably are, and you just don't notice.
Yeah.
I think the funniest one that we went to so far has to be the Duke. Watching you look where that one was, and I kept thinking, if anybody walks up and asks what we're doing, I am going to tell them that he is on a day leave from the insane asylum because of where he had to look for this.
We got some
cache.
pictures of that, but we don't show them very much. I did put them on cacheface.social.
Oh, it was funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
And it was hilarious. There was a lot of people there. They was having picnics and
Birthday parties.
yeah, and a bunch of kids running around. And they probably thought I was a dirty old man.
I think they did. Every place you put your hand.
We found it though.
Yeah, we did.
There's some out there in some unusual places. I remember that first one. Remember the first one we went to find at over there on the bike trail. Yeah, I'd only been geocaching for not very long. Actually, I found there was 2 or 3 of them that I found right off the bat that I thought was geocaching. They wasn't. But this one was. We went back. You went with me to next time, and I turned around and you said, "Is this it?"
Oh yeah. You walked right past it.
Yeah, it was under a bottle.
It was under a bottle, right.
Pop bottle. You know, back when you first start out geocaching, you don't really know some of the tricks of the trade there, how geocaches are placed. And a good way to find out, you know, you can get an idea of all the different ways of hiding one is going up on YouTube and search geocaching. And you'll see hundreds of videos of different things, you know, different ways people hide them. And then once you start learning the areas that you're going to, like if you're going, if it's taking you up to a pine tree, I'd stay away from that one.
Right.
They have some pine cone caches. I've got a pine cone cache that I made, and I was thinking seriously about hiding it in a walnut tree.
It'd be so obvious people would probably look past it.
Right. Yeah. It would just stand out. And well, talking about standing out, let's talk about Lock 9.
Oh, Lock 9. Let's not talk about Lock 9. How many times did we go back to Lock 9? About 9 times. And then when we finally found it, we're just looking at each other, shaking our heads. I can't believe we'd missed this. Because we looked right at it.
We both seen it, and we both looked straight at it. And
it just never dawned on us that, hey, that doesn't belong there.
We gave ourselves a favorite point for that.
Yeah, we did.
And but it's gone now. I guess we never did go back and see if it was under that other part there.
We really should.
There's 3-4 different places where it could be, and where it was, it looked like they removed the, you know, what do you say without going into
right
telling about it. But where it was supposed to be is not there no more. But there's 2 or 3 other ones there that they could have moved it. I'm gonna have to go up there and look, see if anybody's replaced it, moved it, or found it since then. So yeah, there's some out there that are really tricky. We got another one we're going to talk about here.
I've learned one thing. If you want to geocache, be ready to fight spider webs, lift skirts, stick your hands in places you've never thought about sticking them before, climbing trees and meeting woods critters. Oh yeah, and the occasional mosquito. It all comes with geocaching.
The occasional mosquitoes you're talking about is not a few mosquitoes here and there. It's a swarm of them at a certain place.
Right.
And poison ivy.
Oh, I forgot that.
I'm not allergic to it though, but
I am.
Yeah, there you go. So and
the sticker, the briars, and all that stuff.
The briars don't bother me as bad as those big thorns coming
on the
off
trees.
The trees.
Oh, those, yeah.
And so it's just amazing what a geocacher goes through.
You come home with bumps, bruises, scratches, sticks down your shirt, in your shoes, all kinds of fun stuff.
I go to work on Monday, and everybody said, people at work say, "You went geocaching this weekend?" I said, "Yeah."
They know.
Oh, my arms are all scratched up and
bruises.
Yeah, I fall down, I get back up, but it's addicting, to go out and get hurt.
I think people might think I'm hurting them here.
Yeah. And there's doggone GPSs. You get out there and you got a good signal, and it says you're 5 feet from it. So you walk 5 feet and it says you're 30 feet from it.
You're right.
Usually when I'm walking around reading the numbers, Crazy Critter, she says, "Is this it?"
I'm turning over rocks and everything else.
That's just like my niece Michelle. The first time she went geocaching with me, I'm looking at my GPS. Look, well, let's see, we gotta go. She says, "Is this it?"
Yeah, hikerjamz has told me I'm going to let you carry the GPS and I'm going to start looking.
Well, they say that if you take your GPS and get within 10 feet or whatever, say whatever the number takes you to the first time, like if it takes you 10 feet or 15 feet from it, don't have to shut it off, but put your GPS up and start looking for where would you put it if you was out there.
Right.
And we've done that a couple times because you're not paying any attention to the area, you're paying attention to the numbers. So, and then if you can't find it, look at your GPS and see how far you are again from it. Okay, so we're gonna take just a short break here, and we'll be back with you. And just hang in there.
We'll be back after this commercial.
Geocachers, check it out. FTF Geocacher Magazine, the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios, and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Check it out at www.ftfgeocacher.com. Hello, fellow geocachers. We would like to take this opportunity to introduce TravelFleas.com. We are a company devoted to expanding your fun and adventure while geocaching. It's always exciting when you discover a cache, and for many of us, it's even a bigger thrill when there's a trackable hidden inside the cache. Discovering a trackable and being able to move it along its journey involves us more in the game. Now you, your group, and your clubs can become part of the journey by attaching your own personalized travel fleas to a trackable and go along for the ride. What are travel fleas, you ask? They are brightly colored, durable metal tags personalized with your geocaching username. Instead of just signing a log and moving on, let other geocachers know who you are by attaching your personalized travel fleas tag to a trackable and join the journey. To purchase your personalized travel fleas, visit our website at travelfleas.com. Happy geocaching, the team at travelfleas.com.
This part of Geocaching Talk Show is sponsored by Cache Advance. For a full line of geocaching needs, visit their website today. They are an official Groundspeak distributor, and they have everything you need for geocaching supplies. That's www.cache-advance.com.
If you would like to donate to Aftercash, you can go to www.donateaftercash.com. There you can choose the payment type that best suits you. Any amount is appreciated, and we thank you in advance for your generous support. That's www.donateaftercash.com.
Hey, we're back, and we had thought of another cache that was really interesting, and we're going to let Crazy Critter tell us about that one.
Okay, this terrain I think he had down as a 2. No, this terrain should have been a 4. We found a way to slide down to it. So he slides down, he gets it, and we have to get a long stick to help him back up the hill.
Slipping and sliding all the way there. If you would have went down there with me, we wouldn't. We'd had to walk probably close to almost half a mile to get back to the car.
Yeah, there is no way we could have got back up that hill if I hadn't have stayed there.
And then I stumbled on the way down. And I was trying. You know, when you start to fall, you start your steps a little bit faster to catch yourself, and the more I stumbled, the faster I was going down the hill. And when I tried to come back up, well, I done slid down, so the ground is loose and it was gravel and dirt, mostly dirt. But then you reached that log out there. Well, it was a big tree limb, and I think you had a hold of the tree up there too, didn't you? Or
I was
holding the tree limb.
I was, yes.
And then I didn't even think about it. You know, here I got the cash in my hand, and we signed the log and everything. And I'm thinking, I got to go back down there and put it back in the hole.
Right. Well, it was a lot easier getting down there than it was getting back up.
Yeah, because I made it slippery
right.
down the first time. So yeah, after that one, I put my rope in the car.
That's a good thing to have.
Yeah. Even if you're by yourself, it's good because you can tie the end around a tree and walk down the rope. Now, the walking stick, I carry walking sticks in the car too, but that wouldn't have done any good.
That wouldn't have helped you at all.
It would have, because it was just too much of a slope. And, I would have rated that. If there was they rate them from 1 to 5, and I believe that one should have been at 15.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
And I don't know if we even mentioned that on the log when we signed it online.
I told him I thought it should have been at least a 4 terrain.
Right. Yeah, it was and no horsing around. We thought it was going to be a horse farm.
We were looking for horse farms. Yes, we were. Looking down the road, didn't see any horses anywhere.
But two things really got that cache name was the horseshoe curve.
Okay.
And no horsing around. Well, when you go down there, don't be playing.
Yeah.
You be safe. So that was a real good one there. Okay. Hey, we're gonna talk now about some caches that when I first started geocaching that I made my own. You know, everybody wants to make them instead of buying them. So I went to the store and bought me some M&Ms in when I had the plastic tube with the snap-on cap, and I chugged down all the M&Ms in it, and I think Crazy Critter helped me eat some of them, so anyway, we put the log sheet in there and we put it out, and a couple people found it, a few people, and then they started DNFs. DNF. Oh, did not find. And so I go check on it, and sure enough, it's not there to be found. And so I replaced it with another M&M container. I've gained about 5 pounds since we replaced this M&M container 3 or 4 times
at least.
And if I'd have thought, we could have just put the M&Ms in a big bowl, and saved them, but no, we sit there and eat them.
Oh, there wasn't that many in them.
No, there wasn't, but we ate quite a few of them. And so I'd replace them, and the next thing you know, it's DNF again. Well, I found one and the whole thing was all chewed up where the animal was trying to get to it. Well, that's when I found out that they liked it was food, and they was smelling that chocolate and the sugar and all that in there. So I was told that, don't ever use a container that's had food in it unless you bleach it out. And I don't even know if that'd work or not. But,
it should.
So anyway, I thought, well, I got this one left M&M container left, and I'm going to put it out, but I'm going to take a zip tie and zip tie it to a tree limb. And the next thing you know, somebody's leaving a note on my page saying that the bottom is gone, but the cash, the log sheet's still in it. And I went out there to look at it. And I don't know if it's a squirrel or possum. I think possum climbed tree.
I would think maybe raccoon.
Raccoon. It was eye level and it was right pretty close to the tree trunk. And they had chewed the whole bottom out of that thing. And sure enough, because I had the log sheet in a little plastic pill container, and it was stuck up in there. And so that I learned my lesson about putting stuff in, now peanut butter jars. I haven't heard any problems with the peanut butter jar. Maybe a different kind of plastic where the smell can't come through it.
Yeah, because I think you've got 2 peanut butter jars out there now that there's never been a problem with.
Right. So, and what do they call that? PB cash or something like that. There's a name for it. Hey. Yeah, anybody know what they call that? Peanut butter container? When I've seen it somewhere, but I couldn't tell you what it was that people call it. So, getting back to the Country City cemetery. The cemetery caches, they're pretty cool. We found quite a few of them. And it seems like there's, you don't have to worry about muggles out there.
That's true.
Yeah. We did have a few big cemeteries that we went to that there were people out there visiting their families and stuff, and they kind of look up at you like, because you're standing there and you're not next to any stones, and you're standing back in the corner there by a big tree, and I guess they kind of wonder what you're doing, but...
Yeah, we went to the one where a man was watching us from his truck, and when we moved out of his sight, he pulled his truck up so he could look to see what we were doing again.
Yeah, and I think he was the caretaker of that church because it was...
I believe the man that was mowing the cemetery lots there was probably with him.
Right. But it just looks kind of unusual for somebody to... Well, we drove into the church parking lot first. And turned around, went back out, and went down the street to walk in from the other direction. And then when he seen us there, he probably says, "Oh, wait a minute, they up to something."
Well, I did notice that he quit looking when I took my camera out and started taking pictures.
There you go. That's the key word for stealth.
Take pictures and they ignore what the other person's doing.
Right. Yeah. I mean that. There've been a lot of times so we was like on guardrails.
Right.
And we were pulled off on the side of the road, and flashers on and everything, and we're standing there looking over these bridge guardrails, and people, they're driving by and they're slowing down, like, oh no, these people are broke down or they've lost something.
Right.
And Crazy Critter gets her camera and just picks it up, like she's going to take a picture or something, and there they go. I just wave at them, and they go on. So when there for a while, I was wearing my little blue work jacket, and I bought me a hard hat.
Right.
Yeah, and I put little stickers all around that hard hat saying Midwest Ohio geocaching, and different geocaching stickers and things like that on the hat. And from a distance, I looked like a city worker.
And holding that little clipboard
I had a little clipboard and paper on it. I even went as far as copying off landscaping paper to, when you go out and you check off, how was the grass, how was the wiring, around this tree or whatever. And just in case, but I use the GPS for a phone. If I see somebody looking at me, I just put my GPS to my ear and it says, yeah, I'm here, and everything looks good, and then they just walk on.
Yeah.
But you go out there with a hoodie on, they're
going to think you're up to something.
Yeah, they are. So, and remember that one geocache that we went after? That lady pulls up right after I start to walk back out, and I said, "You looking for a geocache?" She says, "Yeah," and she seen it on her phone. It popped up on her phone while she was at work, and she was going to hurry up and get there. Well, we've already signed it and put it back in there, and I said, well, I'll get it for you, and she signed it second to find. But, well, it was third, actually, but you was first to sign on it, first to find. Then I signed it, and then she signed it, but I guess she thought, well, second to find. She was the second one there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting, and most geocachers will sit back and wait for you to leave the area. Remember that one, a good camping spot?
The one, yeah.
All them briars and bushes,
right.
And jungle we had to go through to get to that. When we came out, there was a fellow sitting. It's kind of spooky to us because there's somebody sitting in their car next to ours.
Right. And
we're coming out of the woods. But actually, they're doing us a favor by not going in there and slipping up behind us.
True.
While we don't know what direction to run. But yeah, and then I said hi to him. I says, "You going in to find a cache?" And if he didn't know what I was talking about, I knew he wasn't a geocacher.
Right.
So before I got close to him, that's what I had said to him, and he said, "Yep." And I said, "I'm waiting for you to come out." And I said, "Okay." And he asked me if it was still there. I said, "Yeah, it's still there." And I said, "It's hard to get to, but I said it's there." And you can see it from a distance,
Right.
You can see it 10 feet, 15 feet away. But that's not the point. Sometimes you don't have to hide the cache. The hiding part is being someplace where nobody else will ever be.
Right.
If you're going to go through all this trouble to get to where the cache is, I think the cache should be in sight.
Most of the time, I think it's funny. The most obvious caches are the ones that are hardest to find.
Yeah.
Because you're concentrating so much on, this is going to be a hard one. Where could they have put it? It's going to be right in front of your face, and it just doesn't register that, hey, that's the cache.
Now, I've been caching for, I think, 3 years now. And you've been on it for, has it been 2 years yet?
I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell you.
It's been at least a year and a half.
At least.
And so, actually, we're both still learning a lot of things that we didn't think was possible.
True.
And then that's when you smack yourself on the forehead and say, duh.
We've done that a couple of times. Yes, quite a few times.
Now, we haven't been doing any puzzle caches or mystery caches or anything like that. But we've done multi-caches.
Yes.
We did one multi-cache where we found out later that somebody had left a body there.
Oh, yes.
And we didn't hear about that until we came out.
Yeah, that's another thing you might have to worry about when you're caching. You never know what you might find.
But, if you find it, it wasn't put there by a geocacher because we know where all the good places are to hide a body.
So true. So true.
No, that's what they say. Yeah. But now tell us about the little trip we made walking down this bike trail, and you seen a sign out in the woods.
No digging in this area. Okay, we're in the middle of the woods, and there's a sign that says absolutely no digging in this area. Why would you be digging out in the woods out there?
Yeah, but if you was hiding something out there, you'd be watching to see if anybody noticed you digging anyway. But yeah, this is kind of weird because it was just the woods.
Yeah, absolutely weird.
Okay.
Kind of makes you wonder what people might have been burying for them to put that sign there.
Right. But geocachers, yeah. This is what I found out because I went to that event up there, that 2014 event up in Wasiana.
Mm-hmm.
People running wild up there, out geocaching. They had a lot of different places they'd put them. There's no stealth to that, don't have to worry about muggles, but because it's all geocachers,
right?
And but they had some wooded area where they'd put some out there, and I was with a small group, and it's about 4 of us. I guess we was all kind of hanging together, and this woman turned around and said, "There's another one this direction." I says, "Oh, okay." And she told me what it was, and I says, "I don't have that one on my GPS." She says, "Well, I'm going to find it." And I says, "You mind if I go with you?" And she said, "No, I don't mind." Well, here's the thing. I don't know who she was. She might have been luring me out there to see what I had in my wallet.
Exactly.
And she didn't know me, because how does she know I was actually a geocacher? I might have had my phone out and just acting like one.
That could get a little scary.
But the rest of the people went the other way, and we went that way. And we had to walk through a cornfield. I mean, not into it, but the edge of a cornfield between the corn rows for quite a while. It was a half 520 feet or 580. 528 feet. That's the 10th of a mile, and we had to walk a 10th of a mile through the cornfields and woods to get to where this geocache is. And neither one of us give it a clue. And never thought that either one of us was the bad person.
Right.
And we just thought, about geocaching and that. So it's really amazing. If you find somebody that's a geocacher, they're your friend, unless you say something wrong. Yeah.
Well, of course.
Geocachers have it's their own little world.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I'll tell you what, if you know anything about Jeeps, people that drive Jeeps, if they see a Jeep coming at them, they wave at each other. It's just a standard thing, People that drive Jeeps wave at people that drive Jeep when they go by. Geocachers stop and talk to geocachers. And it's amazing how many there are out there. You might not recognize them by their, anybody could have a GPS on them. Now they're going on phones.
Yeah.
And so you can't really tell if they're a geocacher because you're looking for a GPS on them. And but if they do have a phone out and they're not talking on it and they're just looking around,
that might give you a clue.
There's clues to let you know who the geocache. Better clues to know who a geocacher is than there are clues to tell you where the cache is.
True.
Yeah, we like it. It's a fun thing. I mean, it's a good outdoor activity for family, friends, children, and what I'm mostly trying to base this show on is getting more younger generations to let us know how their experience went.
Oh, I think they'd like it if they got out there and went with their parents and was searching for it. A lot of them do, and they got the possibility of finding their little toys and things in there that they can keep. And
right, I know a lot of parents will set up an account for their kids too. I mean, you don't have to. There's no certain age.
Well, I know from living in Florida for 15 years, families don't do a lot together, but that's something that families could do together and have fun and spend that quality time.
Right. And gives them an exercise.
Yeah, it does.
Gets them away from their
computers and their cell phones
games,
and stuff.
Things like that. And once you take somebody out and show them what it's about, that's it. They want to go.
And it never fails. If you can't find a cache and your kid's with you, your kid's going to find it.
They're going to find it.
Kids can find anything.
Now, one person took their kids with them. I think they just had the one little boy. And they was caching. I've seen this somewhere. I read this on one of the caching pages somewhere. And the guy says, he says, I don't think it's here. I can't find it. And the kid says, all I seen was a rusty old box laying over there.
Now, you know a kid can find it, because if you lose something at home and you can't find it for a month or two, you ask that kid where it's at, give him 5 minutes, he finds it. Take him geocaching, you don't have to worry about a DNF.
Yeah, that's right. You may have to give him the credit for it, though.
Well, that's true. Well, that should make him feel good anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, geocaching is free, really. I mean, you can get the free page, the free site, on geocaching.com, and you can get the free app for your phone if you don't have a GPS. Now, I've got a GPS that I bought, and it was only well, I say only, that's a lot of money to some people, but it was $180, and I've had that for a couple of years.
Yeah, you have.
And there ain't a problem with it. But just with the free app on your phone, see, what's that symbol? See, 2 dots.
Oh, now you're asking me, and
I'll post it on the page there, what it is. So,
yeah, it just went through. It's gone.
Geo is what they call it, but there's a semicolon or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So anyway, you can do that.
It's been a long time since I've been in
The only thing you're really out of is your gas.
Yeah, that's about it.
And if you go to an area where there's a lot of them, you just park your car and walk.
Oh, we've done that too.
Let's see. Let's talk about that one, where we went to that park and grab in the middle of the winter.
Oh, you want to bring that one up, do you? The park and grab that we ended up walking how far?
It was about 3/4 of a mile.
And it was freezing cold. We had these big, thick, heavy coats on. The wind was outrageously strong. And snowing, and then he realized after we got it, oh my God, if I would have went down 1 block or 2 blocks, we could have parked here and we would have been right at the park and grab.
We would have been like 8 feet from it.
Yeah, but no, we had to walk.
And then we had to turn around and walk back.
Yeah, we love you, hiker.
You was about ready to just bundle up next to a tree and have me go get the car.
I would. If it wouldn't have been on a bike trail, I'd have told you, drive the car down the bike trail. If nothing else, I just want to get back in it. It's too cold to walk. Things people will do for a geocache.
Yeah, but it's fun, huh?
Yeah, it's not so bad after all.
After you've been out there a while. Most people are out there after the first trip. They're hooked on it. Some takes a little bit longer.
It took me, about 5 or 6 months before I decided I liked it.
Yeah.
But I decided I liked it when I got my camera.
Yeah.
Because then I could take more pictures, and then I realized, this really isn't so bad after all.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. We're running out of time here. We got about 5 minutes left. So we appreciate everybody that listened to the show today. And we want to thank Crazycritter1966 for being with us. And maybe we can get her back in here another time when we talk some more about the geocaching world.
He'll have to bribe me good.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go geocaching. We're doing this show a little bit early, but we're still not going to post it until Sunday. But we're doing it early so we can go geocaching, and so we'll let you know maybe next week there what we come up with on that. So anyway, keep up with us and send us all the information you can so we can put it on the show for you. Send us an email at radiotalkshow2013@gmail.com, or you can leave a voice message at speakpipe.com/hikerjamz. And you can find us on the website also on our page, hikerjamztalkshow.com. So until next week, y'all be safe. Have a nice weekend or nice week at work. Be safe and careful out there, and let us know how your geocaching experiences went this past week. All right. So until then, see ya.